Today's not one of my normal YouTube videos. Normally I try to put things in a nice bow and just offer you light and love and blah, happiness, ecstasy. Not today. Not right now. Have you ever been made to feel bad for who you are? Has someone ever told you that you were wrong for the way you thought, for the people you were attracted to, for your desires, for your longings, for what made you you? Because I know I have. Growing up, I was told I was wrong for being gay. Last week, I spent a little over a week with my in-laws where they repeatedly told me I was wrong for being the man I am, for being neurodivergent, for seeing things in a different way, for having different vantages. I've been told time and again in my life that I am less than, unholy, despicable, unlovable, undesirable, because of the person I am, because of the way I was made. And I have spent a great deal of energy in my life trying to change that, trying to be the man others wanted, internally, externally, trying to look a certain way, act a certain way, cultivate certain behaviors, certain ways of thinking. But fuck that. Fuck that shit. We are who we are. And yes, we should try to grow and evolve and change. But if people don't see the value in you being you, people see you expressing your elemental truth and still tell you that you are unworthy, tell you that you are broken, sinful, deformed, deranged, a sissy, crybaby, crazy, then fuck them. Fuck that shit. Because that which makes you different, that which others maybe scorn or say is uncomfortable, that is your gift. You are brilliant not in spite of those things that are uncomfortable. You are brilliant because of those things. Throughout history, it has been the weirdos, the wild men and women, the outsiders, the deviants, the crazies, that have brought knowledge from the beyond, from the other side, from the darkness of our subconscious. They're the ones who brought the beautiful and radical philosophies, the new inventions, the new perspectives, the pieces of art that others had never created. We weirdos are the ones who are able to transverse the landscape of the soul and bring back a deeper understanding for ourselves and others. So I think it's such a shame that so many of us have been and are made to feel wrongly made. When don't others realize that it is purely because we are different, because we see things in a different vantage, because we are queer, neurodivergent, a little off in some way, that we're able to escape the mold that society forces everybody to exist within. We get the different vantage, we get the new perspective, because we are slightly different. I hated growing up in a church that said being gay is a sin, that that act of loving a man is sinful, wrong, damnable to hell. One of my best friends from high school is a church pastor at a mega church in the South. He's gay. He's mostly out. But he talks about how him and his friends still carry that burden of not wanting a relationship. Maybe less him, more his friends, but that they believe that even if they acknowledge that they are gay, they should never act on it because that's the sin. Fuck that shit. Fuck it. That is their evil, not yours. Last week I spent 8 days with my in-laws, and they said some of the most heinous things I could have ever heard from people who claim to be family about me. hurtful, mean, malicious things because I exist and see things in a different way and behaved as best as I could in their own version of reality. They totally disregarded me because they couldn't accept where I was or how I was, even me trying my best with that. And they accused me of horrible things that I would never say or think of anybody I think well of. Fuck that shit. I am not taking their evil on for myself. I am tired of carrying other people's bad behavior and blaming myself because they can't cope. I'm tired of people treating me poorly and me feeling like I did something wrong. Like I am shameful in some way because of the way I exist. Because my voice is not what they expected, that my voice is not what they wanted to hear. And we queer and neurodivergent and whatever rainbow people deal with this every day. You don't want to see my vantage because it's scary. Because it challenges you. Fuck that shit. Fuck it. It is because I see things differently that I'm able to see beyond the way things are and what they could be. It is because we, oddities, exist the way we do that we are able to offer something different than the normal, different from the average. The way we are is beautiful. Even if others don't understand it, even if it scares them. And I am tired of carrying the burden that I need to make other people feel okay. That I have to put up with their bad behavior and hold it and justify it. I am tired, and I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. Today I called my brother and said, these things you've done have hurt me. These ways you've treated me, the way that you've told me that my voice is invalid or imperfect or unworthy have hurt me. I've reached out to others. A thing that they don't realize, and many of us even don't realize, these are our superpowers. They are gateways into realms of consciousness and understanding that most people will never have access to. We weirdos, we queer people, we neurodivergent people, we are the shamans, the healers, the sages, the priests, the scholars, the witches. We are the people who delve beyond what is seen and return with the ineffable. We are the ones who hold the keys to the unknown. And so it's time that we own that. So if someone is telling you that you are less than, fuck them. You don't need to hold their perspectives anymore. Let them go. Let those feelings go. Bless and release, as they say. Because I'm done trying to make you comfortable. I'm done apologizing for your bad behavior. I'm done trying to make the way that you behave, because what we show you is not normal. Normal. To show you that I can't anymore. I just can't. Today's not one of my normal YouTube videos. Normally I try to put things in a nice bow and just offer you light and love and blah, happiness, ecstasy. Not today. Not right now. If you are a fellow weirdo, a fellow queer, a fellow neurodivergent, a fellow oddity, then join me on this journey. Because I want to go places people have never gone before. I want to exist in the realm of spirit and magic and beauty and wholeness and belonging. And I want to let all this shit go. All this shit that people have handed me to carry. I'm done.